Hey everyone, my name's Adam Archer, and today we're going to be taking a look at my updated bushcraft slash survival slash camping kit. I made a video back in, I believe, 2016 showing this kit off, and I've really changed a lot of what's in it, so I thought I would make an updated video. One of the things I do want to mention is that this is not really the only thing that I take when camping. Of course, I do have a backpack full of other stuff. I've made a video showing that. But one of the things that I purposely do not include in this is my first aid stuff, which I believe you really need a dedicated kit for that, as well as I don't put food items in here. I have things that you can use to gather food items, but not actual food in there. As well as medical, I think that really needs to be in a dedicated thing of its own. This is completely custom, so you can't go to the store and buy this exact variation. But I have done my best to try to find all the items and put them in my Amazon store. So I will put a link to that in the description below in case you're wanting to purchase anything. Some items are no longer available, so I'll put either the best alternative or I'll try to say in this video where you can find maybe better prices than Amazon, as it's not always the best price. This is a heavy kit, so I don't always take it every time I go camping, especially if I'm going to go backpacking or something. I would not take this. I believe it's 4 pounds, 14 ounces. So let's get into the actual thing, the actual kit. Although I say that word way too much in these videos. So I'll try to lower it. Okay, so I'm using the VanQuest EDCM Huge, upgraded from the EDCM Husky. It added basically another inch to the height, as well as maybe 2 inches to the depth. And you'll see exactly why I needed that later in this video. Going to the back of this, we see that I keep 4 zip ties here. So those are just kind of in the stitching. As you can see, just kind of push them in there. So 2 here, 1 here, and then 1 along the handle. On the handle, we have the VanQuest color coding tabs, and that's orange and black, the orange for fire, and the black for tools. I thought those were kind of neat. They don't mess with getting to the handle at all. And then I also keep on the handle this Coleman combination whistle. So it has a compass, a whistle, a magnifying glass, let's see if I can get that out right there, and a thermometer. So really I want this for the thermometer. I don't really have any other thermometers in my kit, so thought I'd add that. Don't know, I'll probably switch it out for something else because it is somewhat difficult to read. So let's get into the kit. It does have a little pocket right here, but it's a little bit too full to be able to get to currently. So we'll show that later in this video. So open it up and you can see everything in here. So some of these things are backup items, not like my primary use items, such as the knife I keep in here. My primary knife is, of course, a SE4. So I keep that on me, but this is a good backup, as well as the saw I keep in here is, of course, a backup as well. And then some things like rope are really just emergency items. So let's jump in here and I'll show you what I keep in this. So first off, we have the Maritech AAA, an absolutely fantastic small flashlight. Of course, it does use a AAA battery and is up to 90 lumens. So in case you're not really familiar with how bright 90 lumens is, it's basically the brightness of the D-cell mag lights with 3 of the D-cell batteries in it. So that's about the brightness of this flashlight. Let's make sure. So right there. So you get all that in about the size of a pinky. Next, we have a tube of hand sanitizer. Very important in the woods. You don't want to get sick. So whenever I run out of hand sanitizer, I just refill this tube. Very convenient right there. Next, we have a Doc Allen Versatool. So this goes with my bit set I have in here, and it's a pretty cool little gadget. Here's the packaging for it, right there. But the neat thing about this, so of course you can put your bits right through there, and this is if you're wanting just kind of a little bit of leverage, and then you can actually move this handle, and it has a little detent in it to hold that solid. So if you're wanting a little bit more force, and then you can push it down here in case you're wanting a lot of force. So kind of neat tool, and fits in the kit pretty well. And of course I have the bit set that I selected these bits to fit with my items exactly. So of course we have 2 Torx to fit with knives. We have the flathead and the Phillips, of course, as well. Next we have the Bic lighter. You can't have a survival kit or a camping kit without a Bic lighter. That's going to be really the last ditch. Well, you can start fire with a Bic really anywhere, so that is always needed. Next is, let's go with this. This is the Light My Fire Fire Steel or Ferrocerium rod. Absolutely love the Light My Fire Fire Steels. I've tried many others. I've tried the Chinese fire steels. I've tried from firesteel.com. I found this to be my absolute favorite when it comes to combining it with my favorite fire steel striker, which is the Corona carbide sharpener. So this carbide sharpener was actually designed to sharpen like garden shears and that type of stuff, but it works with a ferrocerium rod extremely well. You can strike the Light My Fire rods, and you can be standing up. The spark will actually go hit the ground and stay lit for a couple seconds. The thing is, it does eat up these ferrocerium rods very quickly. You also want to make sure that you get a good combination of striker and rod, because if you use something like the carbide sharpener on one of these rods, some of the softer rods can actually start chattering, so we'll start making dents in it and makes it a very bad combination, almost useless. Next we have a piece of fat wood. This is just a piece that I got from Home Depot. They sell bags of like 5 pounds of fat wood. Very decent quality. If you don't have like pine trees in your area, you can just go there and buy a bag of fat wood. So I know people will say that it's cheating. I just went up there, got the perfect size rather than trying to find it in the woods. Although I have found fat wood, but I haven't found the perfect size for this kit. For sharpeners, I have, let's see. Yeah, so these are my 2 sharpeners. I was trying to think if I had any others, because I used to have a ceramic sharpener in here as well. These are the DMT diamond sharpeners. I have fine and extra fine. They didn't come with any writing to say what grit they were, so I just wrote that on the back. So, very nice. You can actually get some of these that has a groove for sharpening fish hooks, which you may like that. But these work absolutely fantastic, both for the knives I keep in here, my axe, my main fixed blades, and if you need anything harder than fine, I guess I could use the Corona sharpener, although I still probably wouldn't recommend using that as a sharpener. Next we have a Vargo titanium whistle. Nice small whistle. Also has a basically a necklace, so if you want to put that around your neck, you can. And that is a backup whistle. My main whistle I just actually recently got for my kit, or not for my kit, but for my backpack, and that is one of the storm whistles. But I don't keep that in here, I keep that in my backpack. Probably one of my most recommended items, or probably the neatest that people say when I show them this kit, is the pocket bellow. So basically it is a hollow tube that extends out, and you blow through one side, and you put this side in the fire or on an ember, and you can get oxygen directly into the spot that you're wanting without having to put your face in the smoke. Very cool. You can get that for about $10, which is relatively expensive, or you can get it off of eBay for like $2 from a Chinese seller. Whatever you want to do, you can do. But very cool. I actually got a few of them just to give out to people because they like them so much, and because I don't want them using mine because that's kind of gross. Next is an item that I've added to my kit, taken out, and then added back, just because it's not really a survival item. It's more of a neat item to have in your kit, and this is the New Myth fire piston. So just a cool way to start a fire. You put a charred material such as Charcloth in this little spot there, put it in, and you slam this close. This the pressure of, or the air getting compressed extremely quickly causes the air to heat up, which causes an ember on your charred material, and just kind of neat. I believe it works in a similar way that diesel engines do, compressing the gas. Although I am not a mechanic, it is kind of neat. Next is some hot sauce, or some Tabasco sauce. Cool bottle to have. A lot of times you may be eating some bland food when camping, or if you are foraging, you may be eating a bunch of plants, something just to spice that up. Next we have a little bottle of silicone oil, and that's just to keep the rust off your knives, or if you're needing to oil anything up. We have some tarred bank line. This I actually just keep in the kit. I do keep a whole roll of bank line in my backpack, so this stays unused. Here's a relatively new addition to my kit as well. This is the Outdoor Edge Chow Pow, so kind of neat. It is a fork, knife, and spoon, as well as kind of like a bottle and can opener right there. And of course, if you've watched my old video, you'll see that I have taken out my chopsticks. No longer have those in here. And there's the knife right there. So kind of neat right there. Recently I did add the Gerber Complete to my backpack, so I don't know if I'll need that. Well, Gerber Complete doesn't have a knife, so I don't know. I may end up taking this out of my kit as well, even though I just recently added it. One of the things you are probably wondering about is water purification. I do use the Hydro Blue. This is a water purification 3-stage straw, so of course it has, is it 3-stage? So it has the carbon filter, it has the ceramic, and then would be the, maybe it's 2-stage filter? Maybe the first stage is just kind of getting out rocks. I don't know. But it is the Hydro Blue filter. Pretty cool, and is definitely worth the price. Very small as well, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted it. You can get like the Life straw, but it's huge. So this is 6 inches. You can see it's not even an inch wide. So very cool there. And I do have a extra filter for it right there, an extra carbon filter. The knife that I've chosen for this kit is the SE Azula, I believe this is. And on the handle, I've actually put Plasti Dip, so adds a little bit better grip. This is one of the things that I've kind of been mixed on. I do want to keep a fixed blade in here, but at the same time, I like the longer blade of a folder. So I've almost taken out the SE Azula and added something like the Cold Steel Broken Skull, because you can see just how much longer of a blade that is. You can baton with many of Cold Steel's knives, but still I just don't trust a folder as much as I do a fixed blade. So for now, it stays in here. And then I've also looked at the the Blackjack neck knife. and that I've thought about adding that one instead. In terms of to gather food, I have a marbles spear set. So this is a spearhead right there. Very cool. And these are custom kydex sheaths that I made, so they don't look very good because I haven't really rounded this out very well or really finished it off. But it fits in the kit very well and makes it so things don't get stabbed. That's one of my arguments with the marbles set. They don't come with any protective thing for the like to protect it from stabbing things. This is the marbles gig, so very cool there. And of course the little kydex sheath that I made fits on that very well as well. Under there. We have some insect repellent. This is non-DEET, so it's Picardin. I probably butchered the name of it, but I wanted something that did not have DEET in it. The reason being is DEET will melt any plastic gear. So I have a G-Shock watch, which let's see if I can find that. And years ago, I was spraying myself with DEET insect repellent. You can see exactly how it's kind of ruined the finish on there. So you can see, maybe. Yeah, it's just the glossy finish has been ruined, and I've actually seen it melt through other pieces of plastic as well. That's just a small example of DEET ruining things. Next we have some titanium tint stakes from Vargo. So I use this both for my hammock tarp as well as for the stove I keep in here. I can actually put this across and boil water using, or in my water bottle. Probably the thing that I get the most ridicule for keeping in here is this. This is the Meritac miniature grappling hook. So it's actually was designed for the military to dispose of EODs, so explosive devices. They would throw this and use it as kind of to pull tripwires. Why I keep it in my kit? I tried to justify it saying that I would use it to pull down branches or get a fishing line out of a tree. Truth be told, I'm never throwing this into a tree to try to take anything down because I paid like 25 bucks for it. So I just keep it in my kit because I want to. So that's my justification. And I'm going to cut the video here and start next part because it's going to shut off. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so we have that side done. Let's go to this other side. So for a pin, I have a Parker Jotter, or I believe this is the Jotter, with a Fisher Space Pin insert. Not really a fan of the Space Pin insert because if you don't use it for an extended amount of time, it will actually get a blotch of ink on the end due to it being compressed or pressurized. But I do like the Parker Jotter. Next, I have a MSR pot grabber. This is one thing people say that I need to leave out of this kit, but I use it almost as much as anything in here, other than maybe the fire starter. Yeah, really other than fire starter. I use this more than anything because every single time I go camping, I'm cooking as well. So this works perfectly with the carbon steel pan that I use, as well as any of the cast iron that I bring. A lot of times I'll be camping within walking distance of my Jeep, so I just use this with the cast iron. Absolutely love it. This works really well also because these holes, it doesn't gather heat very easily. I'll show you what I mean by it works well with the pan. So I'd actually gotten a pizza tray, or a carbon steel pizza pan, that I use when camping. So I keep this in my backpack, and this just grabs onto the ledge, just like that. So I really like carbon steel better than stainless steel, especially or with cooking. I like it better because it has some of the positives like cast iron, such as you can season it. That's why it's colored black. And it also retains heat a little bit better. I also didn't want something with a handle because handles just get in the way. So I was able to just use this. And then I have a burlap bag that I bought off of eBay just to keep that pan in. I have a carpenter pencil sharpener. So that works fantastic if you find fat wood or if you just have branches to process it into tinder. So you would just put it in there, see where my piece of fat wood is, and just crank that down and you get super fine shavings. Works absolutely fantastic. Use that very often as well. In this miniature or this small Altoids tin, I keep some fire making material, some Espit tablets, some Zippo waxed tinder, some char cloth that's been crushed to death, and also some waxed cotton that I made as well. This is really just kind of backup stuff. I do like to find natural tinders and use that, and that's one of the reasons why this piece of fat wood has never been used also. If those tinders aren't enough, I have some magnesium shavings in a little tube. I do want to process this down farther. I did buy magnesium shavings from eBay, but shavings aren't really as fine as I want, and I'm trying to figure out how to really get that into magnesium powder. I don't know. Most of the things that I've thought of include electric devices, which possible sparks and magnesium powder probably don't go well together. One of the knives that I have in here is the Havalon. This is one of the little exchangeable razor blades. It is fantastic for doing delicate work. That is a literal razor blade that this uses, and it is replaceable. And I do have some replacement blades in here. So if I do happen to catch an animal or need to fillet a fish or something, I can just use this blade, or even if I'm just going to be whittling a little bit. It is a very, very sharp blade. So very cool there. And I did get that on sale, I believe at Field and Stream. Next we have, I'm not going to take this out, it is some flagging tape, a decent amount of flagging tape also. And really what inspired me to get that, not only can you flag off the trail so you know which way you're going so you don't double back, or if you need to find your way back, you can use flagging tape, but I had strung up a tarp using bank line, and people kept walking directly into the bank line because it is black, hard to see. So just put a piece of flagging tape up and down, or ribbit like a few places on the bank line, and thus people aren't walking directly into your rope. As a multi-tool, I've really debated whether I wanted to have a multi-tool in here. I very rarely use it, but I decided to add the Leatherman CS4. This actually does have a saw in it, so kind of a nice little backup saw. Has an awl, a blade, and of course pliers. I don't know. We'll see how much I use this and whether I want to keep it in my kit or take it out and put in my miniature multi-tool again. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't really used it too much, so we'll see. And that really is a lot of what my kit is. I take things out, I put things in, whatever works I keep. If it doesn't work or I don't use it and I can't see myself using it, then I'll take it out. And that's why I kept taking out and putting back in my fire piston. As a flashlight, I have, well, actually a second flashlight. The WowTech A2S, absolutely fantastic flashlight. I think it's 1,150 lumens, and it comes with a headband, so you can use it as a headlight. It uses a, I think an 8CR, no, 18650 lithium-ion battery that actually has a spot for a micro USB connection. And almost all my electrical devices that are rechargeable use micro USB. So I can bring one external battery pack and I can charge my cell phone, I can charge my flashlight, I can charge my, what else do I have? Well, some of my other devices use USB, but they can use the external battery bank also, like my Luminoodle and some other stuff. But put that there. Absolutely fantastic flashlight, definitely recommend it. One of the things that I do recommend, if you get a flashlight like this to keep in your kit, unscrew the cap just a little bit so it can't be depressed and turn on in your kit. Just a little tip. Next is a saw, and this is one of the main reasons that I upgraded to the VanQuest EDCM Huge. I wanted to be able to keep a saw in here, and this is the Silky Pocket Boy. You can see just how aggressive those teeth are. Super comfortable. I have the Silky Big Boy saw as my main saw. And then one of the things is, a lot of people don't want to pay, I think this was like $35 for a saw. So I was looking into alternatives. There are some alternatives that are okay, some that are absolutely terrible. One of the terrible examples that I found was the Camillus saw that came with the Walmart holiday set that you could get like the whole set for 20 bucks. It came with a knife, a hatchet, and the saw. This saw just keeps binding up. When I went to a local knife store, I found a little folding saw by Remington. This is discontinued, but ended up being okay. But what I found as an actual decent alternative is these little ones that you can find at like flea markets and stuff. So just search your flea market and you can find these antique, basically miniature saw handles. You can throw this into your kit, or if you want to buy one from like China or something. I found this on eBay for like $7. Came with a nice saw blade, has a razor blade in it. But you can add something like that to your kit for, I think I got this saw handle for like $1. Yeah, it was $1 with a rusted up saw blade from just the flea market. So you may want to go that way. Another alternative for a saw would be, of course, you can go with a Swiss Army knife, and that has a nice saw blade on it as well. The big thing is I wanted something that would saw wood extremely quickly and be very efficient, and that the Pocket Boy, there's really no competition right there. Next we have some like alligator clips. These are fantastic for clipping tarps and that type of stuff. So you can just see right there. Of course, I'm buying these from like Chinese sellers on eBay, and the plastic they use is questionable. So what I recommend, if you decide you want these little miniature tarp clips, buy from about 3 different sellers, packs of like 10, and just test them out, because some of them will just randomly explode when you try to use them, if it was made with a bad batch of plastic. So you want to find the correct batch of plastic, and then they're pretty decent if you got decent ones. But I mean, you can't expect too much for like getting a 10 of these from China for like $2, free shipping. Next we have a fishing kit. I made a whole video on this. I did switch a few things out since then. I added some super glue, but in here I have fishing line, a bobber with a weight on it, because if you're going to be hand fishing, you do need a decent amount of weight to be able to throw the lure into the water. Lots of hooks. I have some scented bait that I've coated in wax. Of course, some more hooks, some more line, and then I have some eyelets that you can actually screw into like a branch and make a makeshift fishing pole. In addition to this, I do keep a the K-bar caster in my backpack. So in case this is a handline reel, so it has some fishing stuff in there as well. It just hooked my finger. There we go. So let's put that away. Just messed it up. Oh well. And this little container is fantastic. I did search for these, and I was able to find them over on Walmart's website. In case you're wanting to see that, you can probably scan that with your phone, the barcode, or I think it's called iGo just in case. You can buy like a 6-pack of these for like $7. In all different colors. When you go to the bottom of there, you have the micro USB. So very handy there. The cable, that is. And we're almost there. How long has the video been? Like 30 minutes or something? I have a magnifying glass from iKnife Collector. Very cool community. A foil mylar blanket. I've been considering getting a larger one, but that seems to fit pretty well. I have a rescue mirror. You can use that as an ordinary mirror as well. And then this still has the plastic on it to make sure it doesn't get all scratched up. I have a sample Write in the Rain notebook. Absolutely fantastic. And inside there also I have some extra razor blades, or not razor blades, some extra scalpels for the Havalon. So I keep 3 of those in there. And then I have the addresses of places at Red River Gorge written down in there. Okay, so we're still going. We're almost there. So, and here we have my wood stove. This is the Vargo Titanium Hexagon wood stove. So that folds out and works very well. So in case you're wanting an enclosed fire, just like that, and works with my titanium tent stakes. So I can just put them on there and put my fire or my water bottle on top and boil water. So pretty cool thing. I did notice that it doesn't get a huge amount of oxygen to the wood in there because it is relatively low to the ground with those holes. So I did drill a bunch of holes on the outside here to get a little bit more oxygen. So we'll see how that works. I haven't used it since I drilled those holes, but we'll see. We have an emergency poncho. It's probably 20 years old. I probably needed to put a new one here. The plastic has probably started breaking apart. I have a gallon, I believe it's gallon Ziploc bag with some, basically some orange flavoring called True Orange, a tea bag, and some aqua tabs. So that's water purification tablets that expire in 2020, so still have some time. But that would be nice for holding water. Of course, I do keep a water bottle with me. One thing that I know people are going to laugh about, but it is a genius idea, is a set of paper sunglasses. So a lot of times you'll get these when you go to the eye doctor, and you guys will probably know if you have to if it's super bright and you need sunglasses, they're really invaluable. So got these on Amazon. Just some paper sunglasses. And I actually got this idea from a book that I recently purchased, and that is How to Build the Perfect Survival Kit. I actually bought the first edition, and then I bought the second one right after. And a lot of the stuff they have in here I'd already implemented into my kits, but it has some fantastic ideas. Definitely recommend buying those books if you are interested in building a survival kit. And I think the books were like, I don't know, like $5 to $7. I believe this is the last thing I have in this main pocket, and that is a Dropcloth. So I went to the dollar store and bought a 9 by 12 Dropcloth, so 9 feet by 12 feet, and cut it down to 7 feet by 7 feet, and folded it up so that it would fit in this kit. That makes a fantastic shelter. I can combine this with the Mylar blanket and make what they call a super shelter, or I can just use this combined with alligator clips to make a rain shelter. So would work extremely well. You don't need very thick, well, you just need a little layer of plastic in order for rain not to get on you, as plastic is waterproof. So that's everything in there. This main pocket, or this front pocket, I have some paper matches because I've never taken them out of the front. I'll throw those back in there though. Some Gorilla Tape. And some more, 4 more zip ties. I believe that's all. So that is everything I keep in my survival kit. Now let's see if I forgot anything that I was wanting to mention. No. I think that's good. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Did it cut out? No, it's still going. Okay, yeah, let me know what you guys think. What are your recommendations? What do you think I should add? What do you think I should take away? Do you think this is a complete waste of space? That I spent too much money? Anything like that. All recommendations are helpful. I know from my last video, there was one person that commented like, it was like 20, or it was like 10 pages worth of text. And I actually copied that onto a Word document. I still look over it occasionally. I learned so much from posting these videos and gain comments, and you'll see how much, if you've seen the 2016 video, you'll see just how much I've improved this kit. And of course, well, no, I don't need to say any more really. But thank you for watching. I really like when, I love these videos and like sharing them. So any comments are welcome. Of course, I prefer no real mean ones, but it's up to you guys. You probably aren't watching this long if you're going to leave a real mean comment. It's been like 40 minutes. My tea's cold. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.